It's difficult to describe certain idols since they have such a strong creative identity, background, and message. Unlike any TV show, Yunjin's story is full of highs and lows, happy and sorrowful times, and perseverance. But despite everything, she rose to become one of the K-pop community's most admired idols, and her genuineness and self-assurance are unmistakable. However, to get to know Yun-jin, you will need to go beyond just random facts about her, and one of the best ways to thoroughly see her true self is through the songs she wrote. Let's go and get to know Les SSERAFIM's Yun-jin and the ups and downs she experienced before ultimately becoming one of the most admired K-pop idols today. Although Yun-jin was born in South Korea on October 8, 2001, her family relocated to the United States when she was just 8 months old. Before her family ultimately relocated close to Albany, New York, she resided in both California and Chicago. She had always had a passion for music. Being a soprano herself, her grandmother would take her to choir. However, her passion for storytelling surpassed her love of music. She was an avid reader and, at the age of 8, began penning her songs. She talked about the very first lyric she ever composed in an interview with W Magazine. She recalled that it was written in a sketchbook. Yun-jin claimed to have written a song about a red carpet before moving on to write a second verse about Shrek. She would frequently create music videos for her songs with her sister. She soon developed a liking for performing. Nevertheless, it wasn't until her friend exposed her to a certain musician that she realized the actual potential of songwriting. And yes, that artist is none other than Taylor Swift. Ever since she came to understand the power of honesty, and because of her mindset in composing, her songs became a way for fans to further get to know who she is. But everything started at a young age. She began taking classical music singing classes in the 7th grade, and she later appeared in a musical. But throughout it all, Yun-jin was genuinely unable to identify her place in the world. She then started her crazy adventure into K-pop. As it happened that some international auditions were coming to town. After performing When We Were Young by Adele, Yun-jin was cast by SM Entertainment. She did make some friends there, but they let her go. After her journey with SM, she joined the survival show Produce 48 after moving on to Pledis. Even though she met many influential individuals in the business and had the opportunity to demonstrate the strength of her voice, not all of the exposure was positive. She was branded as arrogant for desiring a second opportunity to be the lead singer. She overcame that though. Yun-jin kept practicing despite the heartache of losing, and one evening, she received a call from a member of her company staff. They sat down and told them that her journey had come to an end. And just like that, Yun-jin's world fell apart once again. At a very young age, Yun-jin moved to Korea alone. She was criticized by the internet and transferred to different companies in the hopes of debuting, only to end up being terminated without achieving her goals. Yun-jin once talked about how she felt when she went back to the US after that devastating news. She said, "When I went back to the US, I don't know, I went through every state of despair. First, I was very much at peace. I was like, it's okay, it's fine. But it was never like that all the time." As time went on, Yun-jin realized that she was not fine. There was a roller coaster of emotion, and in the end, she decided to pick herself up and do something. Though Yun-jin was not sure about that something, she was sure she did not want to become an idol anymore. But that was not until she received a call from Chairman Bang Si-hyuk, and the rest was history. Like I said, if you want to get to know Yun-jin, you'll probably need to listen to the songs that she wrote. But before we do that, let's hear some basic facts about her. Growing up in America, Yun-jin is fluent in English. She usually speaks the most during interviews abroad, which helps the other members become more comfortable speaking up as well. But Yun-jin did not only speak English. While she was a member of the opera club back in the States, Yun-jin also learned basic Spanish and Italian, which makes it the 5th language she can speak, in addition to Korean. One thing that fans also like about Les SSERAFIM is their healthy-looking physique. During their debut, many pointed out the members' noticeable abs, which must be from diligent working out sessions. Yun-jin might have another influence though, as she was captain of their field hockey team back in the US. This explains her toned muscles and captivating figure. As for hobbies, Yun-jin loves reading. She once mentioned that her room is filled with different books, and if you ask her for recommendations, she will surely give you self-help books, which she enjoys a lot. This hobby of reading might be one of the reasons why she ended up liking writing songs. You see, Yun-jin has 3 self-composed songs, which fans think are a mirror of herself and the struggles she went through. First we have Raise Your Glass. It's a strong statement that strikes a balance between addressing those who have nothing better to do than criticize you and showing appreciation to those who stand by and support you. More than anything though, it feels like an acknowledgement of reality. Yun-jin talks about vulnerability, and one of her most powerful lines is the one about how living up to an idol image doesn't automatically make you that person. While she is aware that those who criticize her are also affected in some capacity, Yun-jin nonetheless hopes that they may find solace in some manner. Strong words, yet one that is more sorrowful and compassionate than angry. The message ultimately resonates with the idea that everyone has a responsibility to locate the lovely people in their lives who support them, even in this terrible world where color is disappearing. This song also lets people know that Yun-jin is not a person who lets hate and anger prevail. Sure, some people don't like her, but that is not what she focuses on. The next one is I does not equal doll, a firm warning point directed at fake supporters and critics who treat celebrities like playthings based only on their appearance. Though some of us needed to hear it, many of us already knew the message. Yun-jin's ability to produce this, complete with profanity less than a year after her debut, is remarkable. This song is more striking and bold. Yun-jin's lyrics are filled with what I can say is anger from the never-ending judgment and stern looks from other people who don't know the real her. I does not equal doll is Yun-jin's way of telling haters not to play with her because she is not just the pretty face they thought she was. Next is Love You Twice. Essentially, this song is a message from Yun-jin to LeSSERAFIM Yunjin, an expressed wish to be her ideal self. Like the imaginary Yun-jin in her thoughts, she too aspires to be an inspiration to others. If you listen to the lyrics, you'll feel the insecurity of Yun-jin as she describes LeSSERAFIM's Yunjin. Though they are the same person, they aren't completely the same in some ways. Yun-jin also expressed her struggles in becoming the ideal Yun-jin she wants to be, which only shows that idols are people like us. They struggle to find their own identity, and they are having a harder time figuring things out. Lastly, we have Yun-jin's latest song, Blessing in Disguise. This song might be one of the most personal songs Yun-jin ever released, as it talks about her struggles as a trainee, leaving it behind and going back to America. Through this song, Yun-jin conveyed her feelings while being lost in all different directions after that certain day in September, when her dreams of becoming an idol were cut off. Yun-jin also showed her perseverance and determination in not giving up and appreciating that detour as a blessing in disguise. LeSSERAFIM's Yun-jin is not your ordinary idol. She is more than what you see on the surface, and her songs are a representation of who she is. She does not only compose melodies or write ordinary lyrics. Every tune and word is her way of letting people know who she is. And just like that, she is indeed changing the K-pop industry with her unapologetic and fearless personality. How about you? Let us know what you think about Yun-jin. Also, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to OK Cool for more K-pop news.